Good morning and happy Saturday, everyone. Well, we are still in the month of March. It is now March 2nd. Still get to wear my green tie. I'm so happy. You're probably wondering what time it is because it's actually like pitch black outside. It's actually only 6:15 in the morning on a Saturday. Yeah, reason being that there's something I want to try for breakfast before I head out for the day, and to go there it requires me to get up earlier than normal, which is fine. I mean, I plan on trying this one place anyway, considering that I literally don't live very far from this place at all, and the only reason why I've never gone is because it's only slightly out of my way. Like, in a way, it's kind of like a half mile in the other direction from what I normally do. But, nothing that simply getting up early and managing time can't handle. So let's get to my low and my high act of kindness. Well, it's going to be pretty obvious what my high is, so I'll just get to my low. And that's the fact that yesterday as I was out and about, I was at Illegal, and there was something I wanted to talk to a friend of mine about, but because he was working, and we're just about to start talking, but then more people show up, and that just made him busy, which is fine. I'm not mad about it at all. I mean, at the end of the day, his job comes first. And, he's my friend, so I'm not getting mad. It's just, I am a little bummed I didn't get to say what I want to say. I could always private message him, but, it's kind of weird I just find that kind of weird. Like, to simply just slide into someone's DMs, if that's what you even call it, I don't really feel the most comfortable with that. I mean, some people have private messaged me, but seriously, if anyone private messages me, even if it's like inviting me to go out somewhere, or in the case of one friend, giving me a $20 gift card to Starbucks, it still takes me completely by surprise. I mean, more often than not, I'm pleasantly surprised. But, I've had my fair share of getting private messaged, and, it wasn't the greatest. So I know there's some give and take. I mean, we live in a day and age where social media really has taken over, the general scope of things. And in this day, actually, how old is the internet? The internet's 30 years old or whatever. You're either comfortable with how the internet and social media works or you're not. And I will admit, stuff like that isn't perfect. In fact, I've seen more than my fair share of, not negative comments towards me, but comments towards other things, and they either range on being mildly unpleasant to outright cruel, and in some cases, a little bit racist. But I don't do that. Not me. Again, the internet's full of bad people who just troll for the sake of trolling. I'm not one of those people. Trust me, if I wanted to stir up controversy, I'd be saying bad stuff in my videos. I'm not going to do that. That's how I do. Sorry for the rant. I just wanted to say I'm not really much of a private message person. Anyway, what's my high? Well, duh. My high is I went to Rita's yesterday. Oh man, it was so great to be at Rita's again. I'm still so happy I went to Rita's. And my act of kindness was I actually know the owner of Rita's, and I gave them a jar of my homemade pickles. So it was a good day. It was actually kind of funny too, because when I went to Rita's, and there's a bunch of my friends that love going to Rita's too. If ever I go to Rita's on any given day, I either see someone I know or I don't. Much like anywhere I would go to. So whenever I see someone that I do know, that really is awesome. I actually saw a couple people that I knew, which is awesome. So for those of you wondering, Rita's is actually, and I put this on my post for putting on the Cutler list yesterday. It's the one place on the Cutler list that's actually considered to be a chain. Reason being was because it was first founded near the Philadelphia area by a firefighter who named the company after his wife, which is very sweet. There's a bunch of locations it's more of a regional chain, like definitely in the Northeast, like Philadelphia, New York. I think there may be some like in the Maryland area, like sort of the lower Northeast region, I guess. Well, technically I am and there's a few like locations out west. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's like one location out in Arizona. So it's definitely a chain that's in multiple states all over the country. But it's not like, frozen treats places that come to mind. It's not like a Baskin Robbins or a Dairy Queen. Like those places are like mega chains that have like millions and millions of dollars like backing it up. Rita's, it's definitely more regional. So that's why I was okay putting it on the list. I mean, seriously, if I included chain restaurants on the Cutler list, it would be a so much bigger list than it could already potentially be. I mean, seriously, if I included chain restaurants, I'd be including stuff, I'd probably include the big three, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. I'd probably include Olive Garden, Red Lobster, Texas Roadhouse, Outback. So there's a lot of places I'd be adding to the list. So that's why I try and keep it simple. I try and keep it fairly local. I mean, I say fairly local because, I have a Cuba Lake edition of the Cutler list, which, yes, that is supported local. But just because I can go up to Cuba Lake and go to those places, that doesn't necessarily mean anyone else can. I mean, it's likely you're able to, but chances are that doesn't mean they just straight up do it. Unless they, really want to. So basically that was just a way of saying, I really wouldn't include chain restaurants or chain places, but Rita's is special. I mean, I mentioned it yesterday. It was at Gettysburg College. It was on top of like this really big hill. I didn't have a car, so I couldn't drive, but I did have it on, special occasions when, they had it there. And I remember it being so awesome. So naturally, when it came to the horse heads, I had to give it a try, and, I've been going ever since. I love it. I love Rita's. So it's great I got to go. It's great I got to see a few people that I knew there. And it was really funny because there's this place in Elmira Heights that I actually have been meaning to go to at some point called the Sub Shop. And them and Rita's were doing a promotional thing where if you go to the Sub Shop first, you can get like a voucher for a free small ice at Rita's. Now, yesterday was a Friday during Lent. And obviously, as the name suggests, the Sub Shop gives subs. Yeah, there is, tuna subs. But here's the thing. I like tuna okay. I mean, I've definitely had, a bite of a tuna sub before, and, tuna's good. But, come on, man. We live in a universe where, meats on a sub include roast beef, ham. I mean, the all-American sub I get from Meniere's has, has those three things on it. My point is, it's not that tuna's bad, not at all. There's just other things that are, better. And unfortunately, On a Friday during Lent, I can't have any of those things. Yes, I can have tuna, but I was already going to go get the fish fry over at Nick's, so yeah, I was better off just going to Rita's and then going to Nick's, which is awesome. You know, it was great to go to Nick's again. Had a great time. The fish fry was definitely one of the more like crispy fish I've had there, which I like. You know, it's a beer battered fish fry. The fish had better be crispy, and it was very good. I mean, everything at Nick's is good. Everything at Rita's is good too. Speaking of Rita's, I got my usual. Got my large Swedish fish Italian ice. Swedish fish is my favorite flavor of ice. It's actually, I do believe, like, this is how much of a Rita's fan I am. Like, Swedish fish is always a top 3 flavor at any given location at Rita's. In the case of Horseheads, I think Swedish fish is number 1 overall, like of all the locations combined. In this area, Swedish fish is top 3 for sure. Like, I think it's, in my particular area, it's Swedish fish, sherry, and mango. I have had sherry, I have had mango, and they're both great. I love those flavors. It's really more the fruit flavors I'm more, drawn to when it comes to Rita's, like green apple, which I had a sample of yesterday, blue raspberry, lemon, key lime, Florida orange, grape, like the fruit flavored ones, and cotton candy. Cotton candy is a good flavor. Juicy pear, that's another fruit flavor I like. Raspberry, they have blue raspberry and regular raspberry, they're both good. Strawberry is a good flavor. Georgia peach, that's a good flavor too. Watermelon, like any of the fruit flavors are good. Some of the cream-based ices are good too. I've had birthday cake before. I've had, birthday cake is the only one I've had. I had the strawberries and cream ice yesterday too. That was a good one. Actually, the strawberries and cream ice reminded me of okay, this is gonna sound kind of weird, but when you have like a chocolatey cereal, like Cocoa Puffs or Cocoa Pebbles or whatever, and it turns your milk into chocolate milk? Imagine if it was like a strawberry-based cereal and it turned your milk into strawberry milk. Like really good strawberry cereal milk. That's what strawberries and cream tasted like to me. And I swear that's a compliment. It was awesome. It was a good one. That a dear friend of mine has that as her favorite. I can see why. That's a great one. And, it's not like they have custard too, which custard is essentially, if I remember correctly, custard is thicker because it actually has less air in it, I believe. And I do believe the egg yolk ratio is a little bit higher. Like the egg yolk in the base used to make custard, it is. At least I think that's how it works. And you can get a gelati, which is essentially ice and custard at the same time. Imagine like a parfait, only it's custard and ice. You can blend it into a misto, which is essentially which is essentially like a milkshake, only instead of say like vanilla ice cream and milk, it's, in the case of what I would do if I ever got a misto is Swedish fish and vanilla. That's actually a really great combination. Look, at this point it's pretty obvious. I guess I could consider myself a Rita's apologist. I love Rita's. I've been going for years. Come to think of it, because in 2014 I went on when they opened. Well, for that year, because they've been around for maybe a year or so before then. But 2014 was the first opening day I ever went to, and in 2014 I gave up Sweets for Lent, so I didn't really go that often. But 2015 onwards, I've been to every opening day, and I've gone once a week. So 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 11 opening days, and this will be my 10th year of going weekly. Pretty sure it's safe to say I'm definitely a fanboy of Rita's. No question. But, you know, Rita's is also really great at supporting local. You know, again, the sub shop, that's a local place I just mentioned earlier that they did the promotional thing for. Once a year, they do stuff for Alex's Lemonade Stand, which I believe involves feeding children for charity. I think that's what it is. It's either that or I think it's childhood cancer, maybe. I forget. If I get that wrong, I'm so sorry. And sometimes local food trucks go to Rita's, you know, get dinner and then dessert at Rita's. That's really cool. Like My Ava and Los Panchos will sometimes be there. I should do. There's actually a few food. Here's the thing. I have had food at food trucks before. I've never actually put any on the list before because it never really occurred to me I could do that. So, we'll see. We'll see if I wind up doing that at some point. I definitely need to add Los Panchos to the list if I do, though. Because they have really good authentic Mexican food. Plus, it's one of the only places I know off the top of my head that I can get a Mexican Coke. Which, for those of you who don't know, you know, the difference between, the real main difference between Coca-Cola here in America and Mexican Coca-Cola is, you know, here in the States, we use that sweet, delicious, high fructose corn syrup. Mexican Coke, though, they use real pure cane sugar. That's actually how it was originally made before, you know, we in America had to mass produce it all over the world and such. And, you know, it's probably the most popular soda in the world. For those wondering, yes, I can taste the difference. Not necessarily in terms of flavor, but just like an overall experience drinking it. Basically, like, never thought I'd talk about Mexican Coke, but with Mexican Coke, to me, there's less of a fizz to it. But that's not to say it's flat, not at all. There's definitely fizz to it. It's, like, I think the fizz in a regular Coca-Cola would be more in your face, whereas the fizz in Mexican Coke is a little more subtle to me. I guess I want to say it's a cleaner taste, but that implies that the Coca-Cola here made in America, you know, tastes dirty, and that's not remotely the case. I mean, I could drink Coke made in America all day long. I absolutely could. I might just be bad and get a Coca-Cola this morning because I can. But, you know, to me, I can definitely taste the difference, but, you know, I don't like one more than the other. Honestly, Mexican Coke is one of those things that's kind of like a treat, I guess. I mean, I could drink either one all day. Yeah, so, although I will say this. For those of you who are into making cocktails, if you ever want to make a Cuba Libre, which is essentially a rum and Coke, you absolutely have to use Mexican Coke. That's like the rule above all else. I mean, I believe any rum is okay, but if it's a Mexican rum or a Cuban rum, absolutely use those. Mexican Coke absolutely has to be used in making a Cuba Libre. But that's all I know. Now that I'm talking about Rita's, we'll wind up talking about making a Cuba Libre, but that's how crazy my videos can get sometimes. I hope you all like this video. If you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow on social media. As always, I'm very humbled I made this video for all you guys watching Joel for today. I'm hopefully have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday. And remember, if any of you guys want to talk, Jen will be here to lend you. I'll be back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.